Spider-Man is my favorite character. In the No Way Home trailer, from what I can see so far, kind of lets me know that they still do not care about Spider-Man the character as much as someone like me. Hey, what's up, Nerd fam? This is your boy Gashawn. I want to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today, we talk about the No Way Home trailer for Spider-Man, right? Or Spider-Man No Way Home, pardon me. So, obviously, if you're watching my videos, like I'm very critical of the MCU by way of what they like to do with the source material. Now, if you're a person who doesn't really read much of the source material, and maybe you're familiar with these characters from like cartoons or cartoon movies, I can understand why some of the things that I'm about to name might not be an issue for you, and I don't blame you. Like if you've never read a comic before and you just know Spider-Man based off of how he looks, the power set, and his name being Peter Parker, then these movies that the MCU have shown are probably going to be a success for you. But for me, his character is so much more than just those surface level things, which is what the MCU really has given us. Now, some of the pros that I will say, based off of not just this trailer, but just the portrayal of him in general. I like Tom Holland. I think he was the right age and an actor who can obviously emote very well and can definitely grow into the role. Physically, he's great. It's not that I've ever had a problem with the acting. I've always had a problem with the portrayal of Spider-Man and the fact that in all of the films that he's ever appeared in, he's never had to carry the film on his own. He's always had some type of mentor, usually one of the Avengers, and there's always some plot line that runs through his film that is meant to support the rest of the films in the MCU, rather than having a true solo film where it's just him. It's cut off from everything else, and it's his story, and it's his true evolution. Now, I see some of that happening in here in this trailer, because the first thing, we start seeing is Doctor Strange's involvement. Obviously, this is coming after the Far From Home trailer, right? Movie, right? And they revealed his identity at the end, which was already an issue for me because that happened in Civil War in the comic, right? And the reason, some people might go, well, it's not gonna be like the comic, but there's gravity involved that's not here. He was 30 years old when it happened in the comic, so him revealing his identity and doing all that had severe consequences from a rogue gallery who now knows who he is, specifically Kingpin, who actually shot his aunt after that happened. But in this, it's like he hasn't even been Spider-Man for that long, and he hasn't even gone through the things to make that really a huge deal, right? Now, right after that, apparently he's going to Doctor Strange, so Doctor Strange can make everyone forget that he was Spider-Man, which is reminiscent of the One More Day storyline that happened right after Civil War. And in the comic, it was so he could, save Aunt May's life, and then he had to give up something. Mephisto was like, look, Mary Jane is going to have to, forget who you are. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to add that in, or maybe that happens at the end of this whole thing, but clearly they're kind of channeling that with the whole, make everyone forget whatever, right? And obviously in the middle of this incantation, apparently him talking is what messes up the spell for some reason, which is weird because Doctor Strange wouldn't just do something selfish like that. It's like he'd be thinking about the realms, the big picture, not just one person, which is also uncharacteristic. But maybe they're trying to say that, he's early in his Doctor Strange career, so he might not be the person who he becomes later. Whatever, right? Let's just say that's where they're going. Once again, even that One More Day storyline has way more gravity because he's had a whole life of Spider-Man. Now, this mentor thing that I keep on talking about, he's had mentors in the comic. Funny enough, they happen to be the bad guys, which is what makes it so crazy. Kurt Connors, Otto Octavius, even Norman Osborn, all people who he happened to look up to almost like father figures, but then happen to be people who have tried to kill him later. It's part of his character development, like him constantly looking for a father figure in the wrong people, because he's never, after Ben was like his compass from beyond the grave, and sometimes it didn't steer him in the right direction. That's not here because Uncle Ben is also not a thing. The great power comes great responsibility line is not really what's guiding him. It's This is the Tony Stark Spider-Man, the Iron Boy almost, right? So a lot of the things that are supposed to be tenets to his character don't exist in the MCU. And in this trailer, it's even more, because once again, this is to service the whole multiverse, like that they're leading up to change and probably add in more characters, because apparently after that incantation, they messed up something with the multiverse, which obviously is going to lead to the other Spider-Man coming. So the one thing I'll say is the MCU, they've been honest. They're saying, hey, this is what's going to happen here. We're going to have Doctor Strange here. Other Spider-Men are coming. But even that, so now that's another storyline, right? That's bad. I think, so another 20% of a storyline that, you know, like I said, one more day, Civil War, all that, all these type of things that are happening, which one of those storylines could be in an entire film. But instead, they're taking bits and pieces of it to try and add in. Now, they want to do kind of their own SpiderVerse here because they saw how successful that movie was, the animated one, and they know how good that storyline was in the comic. But once again, so these other Spider-Men are going to be coming in here, taking the focus away from Peter as well. So they're going to kind of act as mentors as well, I guess, maybe. We don't know. This is a teaser trailer. We don't know the plotline. I'm not going to act like I know everything is happening here, but they gave us a lot leading up to this, and from what they've said, this seems to be going in that direction. So once again, when does this Spider-Man get his own development? When does Tom Holland's Spider-Man get a movie where he can develop with a villain that truly just challenges him to become something different? Because the character that I know, the Spider-Man that I know, that I've read since I was a kid, constantly developed through his rogues gallery. Whether it was a villain that killed a loved one, or challenged him, made him not want to have a suit, or some villains that were literally, like, you know, Venom, were a part of him and literally were a danger to him in a way that none of the other ones were. Constantly adding more and more to his character, like the Cravens of the world, the thing that really tested him. He hasn't really had that true test, at least by himself, that no one else, no Avenger was even helping him with. And it's very strange, right? I mean, he doesn't even really have a spider sense. Once again, this is like, his name is Peter Parker. He's got some of the power, most of the powers, right, in the suit. So he's recognizable in that way. But as far as his power, as his actual character that you get from the comic, that building, it's not there. And to me, that is a major problem. And in this trailer, obviously you see Otto Octavius, you see the little Green Goblin thing. All right, got it. I get it. They're gonna be in here, and that whole like hello Peter. I don't think he's talking to Tom Holland. It's probably Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that's gonna show up, and he's talking to him because he obviously doesn't know Tom Holland, right? But it just still takes away. It's still using Spider-Man to service the overall MCU instead of giving him his own plot line. This is the teaser trailer. We haven't seen everything, and obviously he's gonna go to court to, you know, because he's on trial for killing, you know, Mysterio probably as well. And I think they're gonna have Charlie Cox, you know, appear as Daredevil or Matt Murdock in this. It seems very busy. This film is a very busy film, and it's trying to get a lot done that's gonna service, you know, Multiverse of Madness and stuff. But as for Spider-Man, what is it going to do for the character Spider-Man? And I keep on asking that in this film, in all these films, and it's letting me down. Now, obviously, if you don't, you know, if you didn't read the comics, you're not gonna have the same thing as me, and that's okay. I just need, when people hear people like me talk about it, I'll be like, oh, just enjoy the movie, or it's a different universe. Hey, it could be, and if that's what you enjoy, it is. But we don't know the character just from the films. I've been reading it since I was a young boy before any of these films. I mean, hell, even the animated cartoons got his character much more accurate than these films. So that means it can be done. It can be adapted very well. So why not here? I guess we'll wait for another trailer to see what else they're gonna show me, but this trailer shows me it's going in the same direction as the other two films. Just recognizable on surface, you know, great CGI, you know, or at least the same type of CGI is going on here. A lot of action, but that substance that is oddly missing from a character that has such rich development, over 40 years worth of it, not here. Let me know what you think about it. Do you love this Spider-Man? You love this trailer? Let me know, and we could do our thing. Keep on reading Spider-Man. If you love the MCU films, keep on watching them, but don't forget to enter the nerd.